So here is the content, what to expect in this lesson. We're still emphasizing on ESL Newcomers, Unit 3, My World, Lesson 11, Colors and Clothes. And this lesson is aligned to WIDA, WIDA standards and indicators. Standard number 1, social and instructional language. Standard 2, language of language arts. And then L, English language development. Or SI1, describe people using simple sentences. And then ELD, LA1, use present progressive, is wearing with vocabulary. So those are the standards and indicators that are aligned to the WIDA tests for those who are in the pre-K through 12 program. It is aligned to the WIDA. So it helps prepare students to take the WIDA test and get better results. And then here we go to the next slide. So lesson objectives. English as a second language, ESL objectives. By the end of this lesson, students should be able to read, write, and speak 30 vocabulary words relating to colors and clothes. Use colors and clothing vocabulary with be verbs plus progressive verb, wearing, to describe people. Language domain skills is listening, speaking, reading, writing, grammar, vocabulary. So you can see we're taking into account be verbs again. Very important that we use be verbs on a regular basis and repeatedly, because that is a strong element of the English language. Be verbs, am, is, and are we'll be using a lot, not only in this lesson or in previous lessons, but throughout the curriculum. Entonces, para que tomen en cuenta, estamos tomando en cuenta el be verb, am, is, and are en esta lección, igual como en clases anteriores, porque es un elemento del lenguaje de inglés que es constantemente que se repite y se utiliza. Entonces, por eso estamos viéndolo otra vez en esta lección. So, lesson components. We have vocabulary review. From the previous lesson, from lesson 10, we'll be repeating or reviewing lesson 10 vocabulary words. Then you have the warm-up, then new vocabulary words, the 30 new vocabulary words that we will be applying this lesson, followed by the guided practice, independent practice. Then we have an exit ticket at the end of the lesson, and then we have a 20-question quiz. So that will be to assess students' understanding of this lesson. So there we have the for review warm-up. This is an estimated time period for each segment of the lesson. Review and warm-up may take approximately 10 minutes or so. Vocabulary, 10 minutes. Then guided practice, 30 minutes. Then independent practice, 20 minutes, and then followed by the exit ticket and quiz, 20 minutes. So again, these are only estimations. If you need to emphasize or invest more time in any of these segments of the lesson, you're more than welcome to. I've had other teachers and students divide this lesson into 2 sessions, which is totally fine. You could do that, divide this lesson into 2 sessions. That's totally acceptable. And the important thing is that our students are learning. There's other teachers who have shared with me that they would use this lesson into 1 full week, which is also acceptable as well, as long as they are learning. That's the important thing. As long as students are learning, that is what matters. So you could divide this into 1 session, 2 sessions, or even a full week session. It's totally up to you. The important thing is students are progressing, they're developing, and moving forward. All right, so let's begin with a vocabulary review from our last lesson, describing people. So here you see on the left-hand side of the chart with the vocabulary words in English, and there's a visual support to support the word that allows students to help facilitate students' comprehension. And then you have the Spanish translation for Spanish-speaking students to make it easy for them to understand. We're using the Spanish language as a tool to help our students learn English. So let's begin. We'll only repeat the words in English twice, and the translation is on the right-hand side for those who need it. Entonces vamos solamente a leer las palabras en inglés 2 veces. Ahí está la traducción en español para los que necesitan. So let's begin. Tall, tall. Short, short. Average height, average height. Big, big. Small, small. Thin, thin. Fat, fat. Hair, hair. Long hair, long hair. Short hair, short hair. Curly hair, curly hair. Straight hair, straight hair. Wavy hair, wavy hair. Black hair, black hair. Brown hair, brown hair. Blonde hair, blonde hair. Red hair, red hair. Eyes, eyes. Brown eyes, brown eyes. Blue eyes, blue eyes. Green eyes, green eyes. Big eyes, big eyes. Small eyes, small eyes. Man, man. Woman, woman. Boy, boy. Girl, girl. Beard, beard. Mustache, mustache. Bald, bald. All right, so let's go ahead and read the vocabulary words one more time, 2 times each. Tall, tall. Short, short. Average height, average height. Big, big. Small, small. Thin, thin. Fat, fat. Hair, hair. Long hair, long hair. Short hair, short hair. Curly hair, curly hair. Straight hair, straight hair. Wavy hair, wavy hair. Black hair, black hair. Brown hair, brown hair. Blonde hair, blonde hair. Red hair, red hair. Eyes, eyes. Brown eyes, brown eyes. Blue eyes, blue eyes, green eyes, green eyes, big eyes, big eyes, small eyes, small eyes, man, man, woman, woman, boy, boy, girl, girl, beard, beard, mustache, mustache, bald, bald. So those are the 30 vocabulary words reviewing that we just reviewed, describing people. Ahí están las 30 palabras de vocabulario, asunto describiendo gente. Okay, that was in our lesson 10 lesson 10. All right, so we're down to the warm-up. So this is the warm-up for lesson number 11, colors and clothes. Directions is fill in the blank, complete the following sentences. So you will also see the same warm-up exercise in Teachers Pay Teachers, JuanCarlosESL. And we just take you there for a moment. For example, here we go. Just give me a moment while I share it with you. There's a PDF version of the warm-up as well. So here we have the PDF version. You have students will put their name. So this is something that's printable. So teachers, you could print it and distribute it to your students. And then students wanted to receive the paper base warm-up exercise. You will put your first and last name up above where it says name, the date that you are completing the warm-up. You can see JuanCarlosESL Newcomers Lesson 11, colors and clothes, warm-up. And the warm-up directions is to fill in the blank, complete the following sentences, use the image to answer numbers 1 and 2. So there's an image that we will be using to answer numbers 1 and 2, and then for numbers 3 and 4, we have to identify a progressive verb. A progressive verb is known as an action verb that ends with ing that will go in the missing space for the sentences. Entonces, en español, vamos a estar utilizando la imagen para contestar oraciones números 1 y 2. Tenemos que identificar el color de qué tipo de ropa de la imagen que vemos para llenar los espacios vacíos. Y después para número 3 y 4 nos toca identificar un verbo progresivo. Un verbo progresivo es básicamente un verbo de acción que termina con ing en inglés. Tenemos que identificar qué palabra o qué verbo de acción que termina con ing va en los espacios vacíos de números 3 y 4. So that is the printable PDF version of the warm-up. You could print it and then you can distribute it to your students. It could also be used in correctional education programs and flipped classroom method programs. Also aligned to the WIDA and pre-K through 12 programs as well. All right, so we'll go back to our presentation. Just to let you know now that this also includes an answer key. We'll come back to the answer key in just a moment. Down below, I'll let you see some of it, answer key. So let's go now back to the presentation. And let's go. I invite teachers to pause the video and allow students to complete the warm-up exercise independently first. When I was in the classroom, I would give my students approximately 5 minutes to complete the warm-up. And then after 5 minutes, I will randomly call on students for them to share the responses. On other occasions, I would have them share the responses with a partner, have them compare their responses with a partner before going over the responses as a class. So either method works, whatever method teachers want to apply, I'm sure it'll be beneficial and effective for students to learn. All right, so go ahead and pause the video and give the students 5 minutes approximately to complete the warm-up, and then we'll come back. All right, so at this point, you should have already paused the video, and then you're ready to go over the answers in the warm-up exercise. So the directions read, fill in the blank, complete the following sentences, and we are to use the image up above to answers 1 and 2. So for number 1, the sweater is yellow. The sweater is yellow. Number 2, the pants are, so we take into account the color of the pants. The pants are blue. The pants are blue. And then for numbers 3 and 4, we have to identify a progressive verb. So we could use, he is wearing red and white shoes. He is wearing red and white shoes. You can see these shoes up above, even though we didn't have to take into account for number 3, they're also blue as well, red, white, and blue shoes. But here the sentence only reads red and white shoes. But the main point is wearing, poniéndose, o tiene puesto. And then number 4, she is wearing a dress. She is wearing a dress. Ella tiene puesto un vestido. She is wearing a dress. So one more time. The sweater is yellow. The pants are blue. He is wearing red and white shoes. She is wearing a dress. So wearing is our progressive verb of the lesson. We'll be using wearing throughout the lesson and guided practice, independent practice, exit ticket as well as in the quiz. So wearing, poniéndose, o tiene puesto. All right, so that is a progressive verb of the lesson. And then just to go back to the PDF version, you have the same responses. After going over the answers and the warm-up, you can see the responses. If for students who work independently, homeschool, you'll receive the answer key as well that relate to the warm-up. The sweater is yellow. The pants are blue. He is wearing red and white shoes. She is wearing a dress. So this is a PDF version. For those who strongly recommended that students are given the opportunity to respond to the warm-up to answers and paper-based exercises. So whenever students handwrite their responses, it's more effective, and also they'll remember it more compared to just typing it. If it was just computer-based exercise, yes, it will be beneficial, but handwriting your response is more effective. Comparando solamente teclando su respuesta, sí ayuda, sí es beneficioso, pero si lo imprime y utiliza la hoja como su calentamiento y escribe sus respuestas en una hoja, es más efectivo. Se va a acordar más de sus respuestas comparando nomás teclando sus respuestas. Sí van a aprender las dos maneras, teclando, escribiendo, pero más efectivo es escribiendo sus respuestas. Okay. All right, so that is the warm-up. Now let's go back to our lesson presentation. So we're talking about colors and clothes. So colors and clothes is our lesson for today. We are talking about colors. So on the left-hand side, you see the colors that we'll be going over. We'll be reading those words 2 times each. And then to the left of the word, you have the visual support. You have images that correspond to the vocabulary word. On the right-hand side of the chart, you see the Spanish translation We'll read it one time each. So, while the vocabulary words we'll read 2 times each. Okay. And there are 30 words total. So let's begin. So red, red, rojo, blue, blue, azul, yellow, yellow, amarillo, green, green, verde, black, black, negro, white, white, blanco, gray, gray, gris, brown, brown, café, orange, orange, anaranjado, purple, purple, morado, pink, pink, rosado, dark, dark, oscuro, shirt, shirt, camisa, t-shirt, camiseta, t-shirt, camiseta, pants, pants, pantalones, jeans, jeans, jeans en español también igual. That is known as a cognate. So if you have the English and Spanish word that's spelled and pronounced and defined the same, it is known as a cognate. So jeans in English is cognate and jeans in español. So that's a cognate. Shorts, 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 or pantaloneta. So shorts, shorts, pantaloneta. Skirt, skirt, falda. Dress, dress. Vestido, jacket, jacket. Chompa o chaqueta. Chompa se dice en Ecuador. And jacket is in English. Chompa in Spanish, if you're in Ecuador. Chaqueta is also jacket in English. Chompa o chaqueta. Coat, coat. Abrigo. Sweater, sweater. Sweater. Shoes, shoes. Zapatos. Sneakers, sneakers. Tenis. Boots, boots. Botas. Hat, hat. Sombrero. Cap, cap. Gorra. Socks, socks. Medias o calcetines. Uniform, uniform. uniforme. So this is also another cognate. Uniform, uniforme, spelled very similarly, just the E. The difference is the E in español, and they both mean the same. So uniform, uniforme, cognates. And then you have hoodie, hoodie, sudadera. Hoodie, sudadera. So that is our vocabulary exercise. So let's do we're going to read the 30 vocabulary words. We're going to read them 2 times each, one more time, and then I want to share with you the vocabulary drilling exercise that I have for you. So let's read these words 2 times each. Red, red. Blue, blue. Yellow, yellow. Green, green. Black, black. White, white. Gray, gray. Brown, brown. Orange, orange. Purple, purple. Pink, pink. Dark, dark. Shirt, shirt. T-shirt, t-shirt. Pants, pants. Jeans, jeans. Shorts, shorts. Skirt, skirt. Dress, dress. Jacket, jacket. Coat, coat. Sweater, sweater. Shoes, shoes. Sneakers, sneakers. Boots, boots. Hat, hat. Cap, cap. Socks, socks. Uniform, uniform. Hoodie, hoodie. All right, so those are our 30 vocabulary words associated with colors and clothes. Esas son nuestras 30 palabras de vocabulario, asuntos de colores y ropa. All right, so before we get into the guided practice segment of the lesson, let me share with you the vocabulary drilling exercise that I have for you. All right, so this is the PDF version of the vocabulary drilling exercise. I strongly recommend it be printed and done in paper. Make it a paper-based vocabulary drilling exercise. So students will see, they'll put their first and last name, where it reads name, and put the date they're completing the exercise. And then it reads JuanCarlosESL Newcomers Lesson 11, Colors and Clothes, Vocabulary. So vocabulary part A, the following words are associated with colors and clothes. Read aloud every vocabulary word 3 times each. So just like we did together in this lesson presentation, we read the words together after you had heard me read it. Now you're going to read it 3 times independently. So you read each word 3 times each. Again, you have the visual support on the left-hand side of the vocabulary word. And on the right-hand side, you have the Spanish translation. Entonces, ven las palabras de vocabulario en la mano izquierda, tiene apoyo visual, ahí a la par de la palabra vocabulario, y a la mano derecha ve la traducción en español. Okay, so that is part A. You'll read each word 3 times each. Van a leer cada palabra de vocabulario 3 veces cada uno. Lo van a leer en voz alta y así se van a acordar más que lo leen y lo digan, lo dice en voz alta, se van a acordar utilizando, cómo utilizar la palabra de vocabulario. So that is part A, which are 3 pages long. When you get to page 4, cuando lleguen a página 4, es parte B del ejercicio. So part B, vocabulary, part B, colors and clothes. Write every vocabulary word 10 times each. Entonces aquí nos toca escribir cada palabra vocabulario 10 veces cada una. Y otra vez se lo repito, que sea en papel. Pueden teclarlo, pueden hacer digital. It can be a digital exercise, but I strongly recommend it be paper-based. So again, the more you use your hands to write your responses in this really drilling exercise, have students write the vocabulary word 10 times each. So they write it 10 times each. They'll recall, they'll remember, they'll comprehend, and they will apply it in upcoming lessons. Entonces, para los estudiantes, escriban las palabras de vocabulario 10 veces cada una. So red, you will write down 10 times. Blue, write it down 10 times. Then yellow, write it down 10 times. Yellow, 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 yellow. Write 10 times each. Green, 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 green. Write it 10 times each. Every vocabulary word, you will write 10 times. Black, 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 10 times. And then all 30 words you will write 10 times each. Okay? The words are colors and clothes. And there are 30 vocabulary words. And write each vocabulary word 10 times each. This is a vocabulary drilling exercise for you to comprehend, to develop, and to practice. Okay, estos son ejercicios de desarrollo de vocabulario para que vayan aprendiendo y aplicando el lenguaje de inglés. Ahí tienen la traducción. Igual, yo he tenido estudiantes que han hecho ambos, que han hecho la palabra vocabulario en inglés 10 veces y también la palabra en español 10 veces. También, si quieren hacer eso, bienvenidos están para hacerlo. There's plenty of space if you want to do both. Make a bilingual vocabulary exercise. I invite you to do that for you to remember. It helps you comprehend what the translation is. So you can write both words 10 times each. The English vocabulary word and the Spanish translation. 10 times each, and you'll recall what it means. Okay, so that is your vocabulary drilling exercise. Also available for you in Teachers Pay Teachers store, JuanCarlosESL. All right, so now let's go back to our presentation. All right, so guided practice. So guided practice,